Everybody, welcome back to the Ohioan podcast. Craig Shoup here with Bob Garver, our New York City film critic. Bob, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great. Happy Thursday.
Yeah, well, it seems like it's been a while. Obviously, the slow part of the summer movie season here is August, September. Although thankfully, we're getting closer to the fall movie release schedule, where the Oscar contenders are coming. So hopefully, a little bit more regular shows with Bob and I. But today, Bob, you have six reviews for us, and you're gonna once again kind of rank them from worst to best here of what you've seen in recent weeks. So I will give the floor to you, Bob.
Okay. Well, at number six with a C minus, I have The Invitation.
Okay.
This is a movie about a woman played by Natalie Emmanuel who discovers she has a long lost family in England and then goes over there and is wowed by a lot of extravagance and luxury. But it's pretty clear that there is something amiss, and I guess it's up to her and us to figure out what exactly is wrong with these people. Um, not very effective as a horror movie. A lot of cheap jump scares that don't really work. It's a pretty good atmosphere for a while. With sort of a Get Out meets Ready or Not, kind of setup. But once the secret's out of the bag, the movie's just hopeless.
Right.
So yeah, didn't care for that one.
Right.
It's an update on a classic story, as it turns out, but
Okay.
not so much a decent update.
Okay.
Um, at number five with a C, I have Breaking. This is a movie about a down on his luck veteran played by John Boyega, who resorts to robbing a bank in order to bring attention to what to the issues he's facing with the VA and their ineffectiveness in helping our country's veterans. Turns out he's looking for a smaller amount than most bank robbers would be looking for in this situation. Um, Boyega gives a very effective performance.
Yeah.
Uh, that's the good news. Um, the bad news is this isn't a very ambitious movie. Everybody else is kind of slumming it, including Nicole Bahari, who I usually think is one of the best actresses out there. Michael K. Williams is in this.
Right.
If it wasn't his final performance, there can't be many more left.
Sure.
And yeah, basically his plan just amounts to ruining everybody's day. Is
Yeah.
is all he manages to accomplish. Um, at number four, I have Beast. This is a movie about Idris Elba and his family going on a safari in Africa, and they wind up being trapped by a particularly vicious and vindictive lion. Um, this movie raises an interesting question. Is it right to be annoyed by characters in a horror movie for being panicky and stupid when I know that I would be even more panicky and stupid in the same situation?
Right.
Um, Idris Elba, of course, is terrific in this movie. He always brings it. Um, can't say all the scares are effective, but at least it makes good use of its setting, and a lot of the scares are effective, even if the lion I didn't think was particularly scary. It's still a lion, and it can still do a lot of damage.
Right.
So I guess decent enough movie there. Um, okay, and then we're moving into the B minus category. And speaking of Idris Elba, 3,000 Years of Longing.
Yeah.
Yep. This is a movie about a woman played by Tilda Swinton who uncovers a jinn, or as we would call it, a genie, um, who wants to grant her three wishes, but she doesn't know if she wants to use them because wishes always backfire in popular culture. And he goes through stories of his previous masters and how some of them used their wishes poorly.
Okay.
Um, but Idris Elba's great, Swinton's great, um, great visual style, courtesy of director George Miller and his team. Um, but the story falls pretty flat. And I can't say the flashbacks are always effective, and I can't say that the dialogue heavy scenes really work. But everybody's trying really hard here, so I was willing to give that a B minus. Um, Up next with a B minus is gonna be Dragon Ball Superhero. I will start by saying I am not a follower of Dragon Ball, so that probably affected my enjoyment. Um, Basically, every character in this movie is a friend or descendant of a more popular Dragon Ball character, and is a yeah, friend or descendant of a popular Dragon Ball character. And there's an adventure where they some bad guys create a huge monster, and there's a long sequence where the good guys have to try to stop the huge monster. So the animation is really good. Most of the jokes hit, and the action is really good. So, for the most part, I enjoyed it. I couldn't really get into it because I don't know who most of these characters are
Right.
that they're descended from. But I liked it just fine. I gave it a B minus. And then the number one movie that I give a B to is called Honk for Jesus, Save Your Soul. This movie stars Sterling K. Brown as a disgraced preacher trying to make a comeback, Regina Hall as his wife, and two really great performances at the forefront of this movie. Funny mockumentary format, uh, as are a lot of the greatest comedies of the past
Right.
several decades. But yeah, funny stuff. You're really rooting for these characters, except for when they're doing bad things, then they're not so rootable. But yeah, just a really compelling story, and a lot of the jokes hit.
Well, that's good to hear. I mean, Sterling K. Brown obviously really rose to prominence with This Is Us, but very fine actor, and good to see him, really getting the shine there on the screen with a starring role. And glad you liked it. Obviously, this is sort of a strange period right now in film. There's the last couple of weekends, especially this coming weekend, we're seeing maybe more re-releases of things as theaters are going to the $3 or $5 days, for National Cinema Day, or this weekend is another sort of special they're doing, and not really seeing a lot of rollouts of new films. But do you have anything on the horizon for us, maybe for a next week, or do we have to maybe take a week off because there's a lack of releases?
Uh, Not a lot of releases. I'm going to see Barbarian tonight, so we'll see if Barbarian is worth talking about.
Okay.
And then I believe next week is The Woman King.
Yeah.
That's got a big push behind it, so we'll
Right.
have to see about that one.
Okay, well, absolutely. Well, Bob, as always, it's always a pleasure talking to you. We'll hopefully start seeing some new releases coming out here as the Oscar season begins. I know Toronto International Film Festival is getting ready to kick off, which will be exciting as studios try to prepare their slate for the fall schedule. So, as always, Bob, I definitely appreciate your time. Thanks for stopping by.
Uh, Thank you very much. Have a sweet day, and this is the highlight of my week.
Hi, I'm Jennifer Mooney. Welcome to what is our new Hope Interrupted podcast based on the work from our book, Hope Interrupted, that I co-authored with my good friend Byron McCauley.
Hey, Jennifer, I'm looking forward to this podcast as much as I was looking forward to writing this book with you. We hope to interview some high impact folks as well as have a little fun.
We're going to cover stories of hope. To learn more about our podcast and our book, please visit www.hopeinterrupted.com.